Welcome everybody, François Le Top, JDR D30, and this is my channel about tabletop role-playing game. Will be my third video of my report of the obvious. If you haven't saw, the two first video, I encourage you maybe to watch them. The first one explains more in detail in its introduction about where I'm going with that. Report of the obvious. Yes, there are obvious things in role-playing games, in some aspects of them, and I want to talk about it because of an experiment I'm running with a RPGS, a super setting. I'm running a series of one-shots in every one of the kingdoms represented in that book, using a different game systems every time. So this is like being in a convention every time, with lots of surprises. So this is a very challenging experiment, a very enriching one. Okay, let's start with that third video. It will be about the game system, report of the obvious. A good game system will help you have a better game. Ooh, I could stop the video there, but I will explain myself a little more. Okay, how to start with this? Report of the obvious. In RPGS, I have selected, before the experiment began, 16 game systems. Okay, I wanted to run a one-shot in every one of those, every one of those kingdoms, and my choice was based upon different criteria. The first one was to use some of the games that were sleeping on my shelves, and it was for me a good reason to try them. And I wanted to try them and never found the occasion, so I've created the occasion to try them. So some of the games are games that are on my shelves. For all the others, well, I began to make some research. I wanted to show to the world that RPGS, first of all, it's a free setting, and you can run it with some free role-playing games that are on the net. So I tried to find some of those free role-playing games that you can find, just to try them and give my impression of that. Well, so far, every one of those games have qualities, but so far, the games that I have tried in RPGS, the better experiences I had with the game system were the ones that I have paid. The ones that were sitting on my shelves and were waiting to be played. Okay? These are the games that I had success with. Okay? I think it's something obvious. How can I say it? It shows that those games were published by professional publishing companies and were designed by professional designers. And they had a team, play testers. They had, the publishing management that may have a view on the game, okay, on the product they want to sell, because they want to sell it, okay? So what we are paying for is for the work of someone who wrote the game, for the impression and the distribution, of course, but for the team and all that comes around. So we're I'm losing my word. So that's what we are paying for. We are paying for quality. The game you are paying, it's not just the game system, it's how it explains, how it shows you what use it will have, okay? How to use a game, in what situation, what is behind the game system, that the game system is, what is the direction the game system is taking. And in the design, explaining the game, I think it's part of it, and that's something that just popped up into my face through this experiment, okay? The RPGS experiment. I saw that, it was more easy for me to run. Okay, if I come up with a situation in game, and, you know, felt that it needed the dice roll. You know, rolling the dice was just the extension of what was going on. Okay, the game is well made enough that it responded well to what was going on in the game. Okay, so the game I have paid for are the one that went more easy. What about the others? Okay, there are free games that I've tried. Okay, those free games were selected because they had some sort of good reviews on the net. So yeah, why not try them? And that experiment is there for that. Though they had lots of good ideas, while playing, I felt that there were some holes. Some of the holes were that I'm in a situation. I feel that I need to roll the dice, but sometimes I wasn't sure what to do. Okay, what is the reason behind that? Was it not explained well in the game? Does the game didn't tell me exactly what type of adventure should be done? Maybe I was taking the game in the wrong way. Okay, I have my ways of playing. I have my ideas behind the plot hooks. But does the game system, you know, did I take the game system to do what I had in mind? Maybe I had bad assumptions about those games. Was it how it explained? Okay, it's a free game. Okay, the people who are working with it, you know, had lots of fun writing those games. That is clear. And, you know, probably they have their ideas in their mind. They had good ideas about what their game are about. But, you know, it's an art to explain it to the others. You know, I had some exchanges with some authors of some games once in a while, and sometimes, you know, it seems quite clear what their game are, and they explain it to me, and sometimes I just don't get it. It's not that they're not explaining it well. Maybe it's just that their choice of words, it's not making the road clear to those who wants to understand. Probably I would play with those designers of those free games. I would come to their table with their games, and probably I will find that I will have a blast. Okay, I will find that their games are awesome because the guy who are running them knows their stuff. It's all in their head. So yeah, free games had good ideas, but there are some holes in it. And I had some games that are, I'd say, in betweens. They are the skeletons of published games that you can buy. Okay, my 3 examples I have is Fudge, Fusion, and Warp. I have used the free version of those games. Like free games, there are some holes. Okay, I felt that I had to create the stuff over that, and which I didn't necessarily have the time. So in game, I had to fudge some of the stuff. I have to create some of the stuff on the fly, and yeah, I felt that maybe I would have needed some more guidance in the game system. But I know that those games in their finished form that you can buy probably have the answers of those questions. But yeah, while I was playing the free games or those in-betweens, yeah, I came up with situations where I feel that I need to create a rule on the fly there, and it just didn't felt right. So it was more work, which is a very good experiment. In fact, okay, this is a very good experiment. I must say that I'm learning a lot through that. Yeah. I will finish this video with an example that was very big. Samakian Kingdoms, I use Heroes Against Darkness, which is a free game. The author, the designer of the game, you know, is the guy who created Hero Kids. It is someone who I respect a lot because I do enjoy Hero Kids. Heroes Against Darkness is a fine game. It's a kind. I will do a more complete review in the near future, I hope. But just to say it shortly, it's like the D&D 4th edition mechanic who wants to simulate old school, okay, OSR. It felt to me like that. Okay. But, you know, we played it in the Samakian kingdom. Samakians are fish people. So, probably it was, there was lots of water involved into the game. So I watched the swimming rules, just in case the players need to swim. There's a table in the book, swimming table, with difficulties. Okay, they say, okay, depending on the water, circumstances, you have difficulty chart, modifier chart. Okay, what you will find in an usual role-playing game. So far, it's good. You know when you roll the dice if you succeed or fail. The problem is, when you fail, there's no rule for drowning. You don't know what happens if you drown, which is quite odd. And I felt that I needed a rule like that, you know, if I play in a kingdom where there are fishermen, since swimming might be involved. So I needed to create a rule for drowning. So yeah, it was kind of that. This was that kind of a hole. To come back with RPGS and the way I run it, well, all those game systems is an experiment, and I draw them randomly. Something I haven't mentioned in that video, but you know, like every one of those kingdoms that I draw randomly every time to know in what kingdom I will play, I draw the game system randomly. And it's quite a fun experiment. It raises a challenge for me. RPGS so far is a very enriching experiment. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that for the rest of the experiment, the games that I will have more success with will be the ones that I have paid. That's my point. So the quality of the game system will enhance the game. And the game you have paid for will have more chances to help you into using the game system to make your world more alive. Yeah. Otherwise, you can use those free game systems, but you will have to practice them in order to understand how to use them and create house rules that are organic to what you need. Well, yeah, that was my last part of my report of the obvious François Letarte JDR D30. And up to next time, I hope you have as much fun in your life as in your games. Goodbye.